Is Lamine Yamal really the next Messi? But what if I told you that he's already better at 17 than Messi was? That he has the numbers to go toe-to-toe with Pele himself? How we have never seen anyone like him in the history of football, and if he keeps this up, he could actually make a strong case for the greatest of all time. You probably think I'm overreacting, blinded by recency bias and hype, but in this video I will show you exactly why that's not the case, going over his story, his rise to the top, and the one thing he has to do in order to truly reach his full potential. So who is Lamine Yamal? A kid born in Barcelona who was scouted and brought to Barca's academy La Masia at just 7 years old. Even as a kid, his highlight tape was unreal. It was clear he had a level of natural talent the other kids didn't have. As an attacker, he was the kid getting the most goals. You couldn't coach what Yamal had, and playing for La Masia, the world's greatest football academy, was only going to do wonders for his development. The scary thing about Lamine was the rate of his development. Constantly being better than all the kids around him, he was always playing multiple age groups higher, plus he was physically developing fast too. And he was still playing at such a high level. He was quick with incredibly fast feet with good size, meaning it was impossible to get the ball off him, gliding past defenders as if they weren't even there. What stood out was his football IQ. Playing for La Masia, they instilled tactical football in the kids from such a young age, which Lamine adapted to quickly. But with his elite creative ability, his coaches made sure they didn't restrict him from playing with freedom and flair. He loved to take on defenders, beat his man, and express himself on the pitch, making him entertaining to watch. He was always trying some new skill or taking some crazy shot, and most of the time he pulled it off. Anyone who watched one Lamine Yamal game at the academy level knew instantly who he would become, including the manager Xavi, who selected Lamine to train with the first team when he was just 15. He was the clear standout from all the La Masia graduates. Xavi used to tell us he did some magical things, moves that you could not relate to a 15-year-old. And Xavi was so impressed with what he saw in training that he decided to give Lamine his first team debut in 2023 at 15 years and 9 months old, becoming the youngest player in Barcelona history. That game was only supposed to be a sign of commitment the club has for the player. He was going to play for the B team and continue to develop, but Yamal in preseason got his chance for the team and kept on performing well. As a right winger, Yamal's position was already filled, but Dembele left that season to join PSG, and Xavi and Barcelona didn't sign a replacement. Instead, they decided to take a chance on a 16-year-old. This was seen as a massive risk to put this faith in a kid based on a few decent preseason games. But Xavi trusted Lamine. He started him out in just the second game of the season, and the kid did not disappoint. He was a bright spark, playing full of confidence and pressing massively as Xavi knew he had found his next superstar. It was only the next match which Yamal started again and decided to go crazy. Playing against a strong Villarreal, Lamine ran the show, showing off his dribbling and fast feet with his elite chance creation, getting himself 2 assists that day. He was tormenting pro footballers while still having braces in his teeth, becoming the youngest assister and man of the match winner in La Liga history. Just 3 games into his La Liga career, it became clear this kid was ready to take on the big stage, and with a coach like Xavi, a La Masia graduate himself, he trusted that Yamal could develop and benefit with more first-team football. From here on out, he pretty much played in every single game, starting just over half of them, and for good reason too. He just kept on playing well. Normally when a 16-year-old plays, it's to help his development, but eventually they started playing him because he was actually just the best option at right wing. His maturity was unreal, creating chances out of nothing, being the creative outlet for the team with the ability to dribble past 2-3 defenders with ease. His crossing and through balls, things that normally take years to develop, were already at an elite level. His best ability, however, is what makes him so deadly. His ability to read the game instantly, always making the best decisions. Xavi described Yamal as so clever it's extraordinary. He makes the right choice, finds the right pass, or does the best thing for the team almost every time. Just watch one of his many highlight tapes and you'll be in awe. How can someone at 16 have a 15-minute highlight reel bullying guys twice his age while making it look so silky? He is bringing that flair and entertainment we haven't seen since guys like Neymar and Hazard. It took him a while to truly add goals to his game, but in only a matter of months, he managed to fix one of his few weaknesses, scoring some outrageous goals for Barcelona. In just 1 year, he managed to get his debut, break into the first team, become a regular starter, and then become the most important player on the team. His numbers aren't the flashiest, 5 goals, 5 assists in 37 games, but just watch a Barcelona game and you'll see his impact on a match is more than that. I already made a video on how Barcelona collapsed, But the one thing Barca can rely on to build themselves back is their academy, as it's not just Yamal that is shining. 17-year-old Pau Cubarsí, Lamine's teammate since youth, has also performed at a high level. With those two, Gavi, Fermin Lopez, Pedri and more, these guys could save what has been a dark time for Barca. But it's not just Barcelona they're saving. Spain have needed that X-Factor bright spark for a while, and with Lamine and Cubarsí rising to the ranks, they could be what sets this country up for the next 12 years. Lamine already broke the record for youngest ever Spain player and scorer at 16 years 2 months after his performance against Georgia. But this wasn't the game that made De La Fuente a believer. In March 2024, Spain took on Brazil, a game with two young stars, the talk of the town, Endrick and Yamal. While Endrick scored in that game, it was Yamal who easily had the better performance, showing off his signature flair and chance creation, getting an assist and winning a penalty too. This was the match where Yamal made his case not only to go to the Euros, but his case to start too. He ended up being called up for the tournament and did indeed start the first game against Croatia, where he played very well and got himself an assist, making him the youngest ever player to play in the Euros and to register an assist. The good form continued throughout the tournament though, where he impressed as Spain won all 3 group games. The international stage is one where the biggest stars shine, and the knockout stage is the biggest platform to perform. In the round of 16, Lamine played well, creating some chances and getting an assist too. But it was the quarters against the hosts where people really started to lock in. A game where he looked so mature, playing on the big stage with league winners, Champions League winners and World Cup winners. This is a serious match, yet he delivered. Spain won the game 2-1 thanks to a Yamal assist, reaching the semi-finals where they played France. By now, everyone was talking about this kid. He had become a global sensation, and one French player wasn't a fan. Adrien Rabiot, a day before the game, said,
and that if you want to be able to play a Euro final, you need to be able to do a bit more than he's done.
Yamal took to IG for his response, posting the pic saying, "Move in silence, only speak when it's time to say checkmate." Some weren't buying into the hype, but this kid knew he had every right to start this game, and he proved it. Despite the French going 1-0 up early in the game, Yamal is a difference maker.
The 16-year-old Lamine Yamal!
A wonder strike, an effort that was watched all over the world. Beating Rabiot to create space and place it in the top corner was poetry in motion. This goal made him the youngest ever scorer in a Euros or World Cup, a goal that will be watched and replayed for decades. Not even he knows how big a moment this was. Deschamps called it magnifique, and Mbappe stood in shock. Spain ended up getting a second and winning the game, taking them to a finals against England, where Lamine capped off his outstanding Euros with an assist in the final, beating them 2-1, as a day after his 17th birthday he was crowned a European champion, winning Young Player of the Tournament too. So young to be this good and winning on the international stage is simply unreal. Winning the Euros at 17, contributing in a major way, begged the question of just how high his ceiling is. He already got the Messi comparisons for being a left-footed attacker from La Masia, but the numbers tell an even scarier story. Lamine Yamal is making much faster progress in his career than Messi. In fact, Yamal is already a European champion before the age Messi was when he made his senior debut. In fact, Messi didn't even make his Argentina debut till he was 18 and scored his first goal for his country closer to 19. Yes, comparing the two seems silly. We've seen countless next Messis and they never pan out. They're overhyped or the pressure gets to them. But Lamine is a special case, because there hasn't been a 16-year-old in football history as good as this kid. Rooney, Fabregas, Owen, CR7, none of them were playing at Yamal's level at this age, only breaking through their first teams at around 17. Maradona made his true breakthrough at 18, and the only player who makes a stronger case is Pelé, who was already playing for Santos and won the World Cup at 17, scoring 6 goals including 2 in the final. This is who Yamal is in competition with. Judging by his career trajectory, it's not an over-exaggeration to say he is on pace to be one of the greatest footballers of all time, and one of the biggest superstars we've ever seen or witnessed. The kid is already a global sensation, a marketing giant, but on the pitch, what he is doing at this age has only been rivaled by Pelé. Lamine has always downplayed this, however, not letting the Messi comparisons get to him. Comparing yourself to the best player in history will not help you. I will never become like him. I try to be me. Let people recognize me by Lamine Yamal. But there is one huge problem: injuries. Starting your career at 16 means your body breaks down a lot quicker. Most attackers who started that young ended their careers around 30 years old as they couldn't keep up with the physical side of the game. To avoid this, you need to be extremely disciplined like Ronaldo or an alien like Messi. We've already seen La Masia graduates suffer that terrible fate. Ansu Fati was injured early on and hasn't recovered. Pedri played 72 games in 2021 and his body hasn't been the same since. And now you have Gavi, who at 19 already has a torn ACL. Truth is, Barcelona and Spain really need to monitor how much he plays and limit some of his game time to ensure he doesn't suffer this same fate. Xavi was already vocal about this, and Yamal has not been allowed to play in the Olympics too, just to be on the safe side. But outside of that, we really need to appreciate the talent we are witnessing. This kid has the potential to actually be one of the GOATs. No one his age has ever done this. Plus, he's only going to get better from here on out. And if that's the case, everyone should be very, very scared. It's as if this kid has been blessed at birth or something. December 2007. A 20-year-old Messi, a future GOAT in the making, has to take a picture for a charity calendar. One lucky family got to take that picture with Messi. The baby that was chosen to take the picture with Messi was a baby Lamine Yamal. The odds of this are so astronomically low that it surely cannot be a coincidence. Lamine Yamal has literally been blessed as a baby by Lionel Messi, and now he's turning into a superstar with nothing but Messi comparisons. And at some point this season, Yamal and Messi will face each other in the Finalissima as the champions of Europe and South America. We will get to see the GOAT face the future GOAT. The story of Yamal has only just begun, yet it feels like already so much has happened in his career. This is the start of the journey of one of the greatest footballers of all time.